Good evening, y'all, and welcome to this week's edition of Double K's Classroom. I am Double K. Get your books out and your pens ready and step into my classroom. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? And welcome to this week's edition of Double K's Classroom. I know we're a little bit up, a little bit late tonight, but we're still here for you, talking that good old sports knowledge and bringing you some nice, good vibes. Now, this week, we're going to start off the show, like I said, hot topics. We're going to start off the show with what was the talk of the town in the NBA this season, and that's what happened on Monday night, Monday, December 13th. Stephen Curry proceeded to go out and pick up two. Well, he had a total of 5 for the game, but 2 more free three-pointers to surpass Ray Allen with 2,974 3-pointers for his career. Now, mind you, Steph ain't done. Steph ain't done by a long shot. But at the end of the day, it's killing me, man. Like, this man has turned out to be everything that I thought he was going to be for the Golden State Warriors plus more. He's been literally a superstar for them near the past decade. Now, people say, oh, you just riding the Curry train. No, really. Like, when he came out, when he came out of Davidson, I would tell you to go back and listen, but the episodes aren't up anymore. But I started out on a show called West Coast Bias. Used to get dropped it was a podcast that used to get dropped every Sunday. And we would record, and my friend Jamil would edit it and post it up on his comic book site. And when Steph Curry was drafted, before the draft, I specifically said that they should take Steph Curry. He was coming hot off of his run with Davidson to, I believe it was the Elite Eight, and showed exactly how much of a leader he could be. And then and then we drafted him, number 7 overall in that draft. And I proceeded to tell the duel is Mr. Suave, my 2 co-hosts, that Steph Curry was going to bring championships to the Golden State Warriors. 5 finals, 3 championships. I was right there. This man is possibly going to end up being one of the greatest shooters of all time. And guess what? Here we are. And not only are they calling him one of the greatest, they're calling him the greatest shooter of all time. Steph Curry, son of Dale, brother of Seth, husband to Aisha, father to 2 of the most beautiful little babies I've ever seen in my life, is now your all-time leader. Congratulations, Steph. I genuinely hope you got to enjoy the moment. It was such a polarizing moment that the crowd at MSG was on Steph's side, was standing up every time Steph got the ball after the game started. Every time Steph got the ball and was dribbling up, everybody in the thing was up waiting for him to hit it. He ended up hitting 2 of his first 3, got it over early, and then the Warriors proceeded to run all over the Knicks for the rest of the night. Congratulations to Steph. Glad you're a Warrior. You turned my squad that I thought was never going to do anything into a squad that's the talk of the town. And once again, they're the talk of the town this year too. Let's keep it rolling. They just came off a win against the Celtics tonight, and hopefully we'll keep that rolling moving forward. I'm hoping for a Christmas Day win over the Suns. We'll see. Maybe. All right, so next topic is the hottest topic that's going around in the NBA as of today, um, December 17th. 2021. That is that Kyrie Irving. That's right, Kyrie Irving, the man that I personally said at the beginning of this basketball season was not going to play a damn game this season, proved me wrong. He is back with the Nets as a part-time player. He will play on their road games in the games where they play in states where they don't have a vaccination mandate. Still allows him to get in about 15, 20 games before the end of the season, get his rhythm together. But yeah, Kyrie's back part-time. I don't really like it, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. And you know, there's loopholes and everything. So this was just another loophole exploited. But I think that it makes the Nets a better team. I don't know if it makes them a lock for the finals, or even a lock to they I think they'll finish number one in the conference, but whether or not they'll make it to the finals, a whole different subject. Because here's the bottom line. James Harden still ain't playing like James Harden yet. And I don't know if he will this season. Because a lot of the problems that are going on with James Harden don't seem like problems that'll just go away. So we'll see what happens as they move forward. But I think definitely the Nets are the team to beat in the AFC in the Eastern Conference. And they're sitting at number one right now. But are they better than the Warriors? Are they better than the Suns? I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. But congrats to Kyrie Irving, and congrats to the Nets for working out something where they could at least get some games out of one of their highest paid players this year. I was always worried about that. Like, I knew he was losing game checks, but goddamn, dude, like, that's millions they saving by you not playing. Why would they want you back? But yeah, Kyrie is back. I know I don't seem excited about it, but that's probably because I'm not. I'm too busy watching these guys. And their biggest threat right now is the Phoenix Suns. Last subject of this half of the show is going to be this. What in the fuck is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers? What? Like real talk, guys. Like, what in the fudge is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers? Why is it that they cannot seem to get it together even when they have everybody? LeBron's back, Russ is healthy, AD's healthy. They're still what, 16 and 14? Maybe 17 and 14 after tonight. They're supposed to be playing the Timberwolves. That's a squad I expected to be 24 and 5. That's a squad I expected to have 30 wins by now, damn near. You got Russ, you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Dwight Howard, you got really, like, y'all can't put it together with that squad. And I don't think it's Frank Vogel's fault. I think it's just the players. They're saving themselves for the postseason. When in reality, the gelling and all of that begins now, not in the postseason, now. So I can say this. The Lakers better get it together. LeBron James, 30 points a game, dude. Dude should be averaging 30 points for the season if he's the GOAT. I'm not saying Jordan did it. I'm saying he's supposed to be better than Jordan. So he should be doing shit Jordan ain't never done and never will do. He should be averaging 30, 35 a season at this age, even though I think Jordan at 36 did win the chip. So I think he averaged like 28 that season as well. But that was after a couple of years of retirement, etc. But I'm just saying, in general, for the walk of the cock that these guys talk, he doesn't see. This is quick tangent. This is my main issue with LeBron. He comes right up to the edge, and there are certain things that he surpassed what people thought he was going to do. But there's been so many things that he's right up against the edge, and then people make excuses for why he never reached that level. And it's like, stop making fucking excuses. He just didn't reach that level. The reality is that he's damn good. One of the best basketball players to ever step on a court. But the heights that people elevate him to, he does not deserve to be at. 10 straight finals. Beautiful. Amazing. Doesn't matter when you lose 60% of them. Or 10 finals, 8 straight. Doesn't matter when it loses a lot. I can't say it doesn't matter. It matters. But it doesn't have as much impact when you lost 60% of those games. You know, that'd be like me saying what would be 40% win percentage in a 16-game season would be what? Like 3-4 wins? 4, maybe 5? What if I was to tell you that a 5-11 football team deserved to be in the playoffs and fight for a Super Bowl? You'd be like, fuck you, dude. They couldn't even reach 500. Exactly my point. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not saying you got to be perfect. Jordan was a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. For him to dominate the way he did and go undefeated in the finals. Because that's what a lot of people don't understand is it's not just the fact that Michael Jordan went 6-0. It was the way he did it. Like the season when he won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, fucking Finals MVP, and won the chip all in the same year, and was the scoring leader. When in LeBron's career has he ever come close to doing all of that in the same season? I can't think of a single season in 17 years in which he's come close to winning the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, and the championship, and was the scoring leader that year. I can't think of a year in which LeBron put all that together and was first all-NBA team defense. First team All-NBA defense. Like, I'm not saying LeBron's not good. I'm just saying, stop putting him on the level of this man who did things that probably ain't ever going to be done again. Being the star player, the main star, and going undefeated in the finals. Probably ain't never going to be done again. The only person that had a shot to do it was LeBron. That's it. Because he went to enough finals to usurp that. But he didn't. He didn't. Whether you like what I'm saying or not, it's the truth. He didn't. But anyway, I'll drop it there. Get my blood pressure under control. Y'all got me out here. My blood pressure all high. Y'all gonna kill me. And I'll take a quick break. Let y'all look at some podcast promos or listen to some podcast promos and watch a 4 Aces video. And I'll be back after the break with some NFL talk. We'll talk a little bit about the 49ers, COVID versus the NFL, and COVID's winning right now. And then I'm just going to give you a quick fantasy update, couple-minute fantasy update on my fantasy teams. But you're listening to the Double K's Classroom right here on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else you find your favorite podcasts. Hope y'all keep listening in for the second half. Peace. Howdy, folks. This is Double KK Double here. I'm here to tell you all about the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network. On this network, we have a plethora of shows going on, sometimes once a month, sometimes every other week, sometimes once a week. It's all kinds of schedules going on around here. But what we're going to start with is the Now versus Then Network. Now versus Then is comprised of a man by the name and co-founder of this particular network by the name of The Saint and his collective of hosts that help him bring to you the hottest topics, bring to you some of the greatest discussions, and bring to you some of the greatest music. independent music on the West Coast, hell, possibly even on the East Coast. So check out The Saint on Now versus Then. Now versus Then West, and Now versus Then Deuce. These shows air on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. or Monday nights right here on the 4H Presents Radio Network on Spreaker.com and or Live 365 starting here in the next couple of weeks. All right, so the other part of the 4H Presents Radio Network I wanted to tell you about was a show by the name of the Mr. Deacon Experience, starring Mr. Deacon himself. Deacon takes you on a ride talking about his Browns, talking about sports, talking about some of the hottest topics within the communities that surround us on a weekly basis, on a regular basis, I should say. So tune in to him on Saturday nights at 8. Now, the next part of the network is a few shows, some of which you may recognize, some of which are right here on YouTube, and that is the Double K Double Network. That will be 4 shows starring me and a bunch of my other hosts doing everything from sports to music. Let's see. Let's start out with Double K's Classroom, which is my bi-weekly show where I talk sports and some of the hottest topics in sports. Like this week, I touched on the A-Rod situation, John Gruden situation. So be sure to tune into that on Friday night at 8. But every Friday night we have a show, but we will be alternating between Spreaker and Live 365. Double K's K-Double, or Double K's Classroom will air on Spreaker every Friday night at 8, or every other Friday night at 8. In the weeks in between Double K's Classroom, we will have KD5P. K-Double's 5th period music class, the show that will bring to you music from multiple generations, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s on Live 365 every other Friday at 8 p.m. So be sure to tune into those shows. The next show that we have is the Cheap Pop Podcast. The Cheap Pop Podcast airs right here on YouTube as well as on Spreaker.com. It's a weekly show that alternates between talking pro wrestling and everything involved with that, from WWE to AEW, etc., to talking movies, entertainment, comic books, television shows, animated television shows, etc. You think about it, we probably talk about it. So that's on Sundays at 5 p.m. And then every other Sunday, the final show on this network stars me, The Duel, and Heather O'Malley, which, by the way, Cheap Pop Podcast also stars Alpha, a young man out of Sacramento. All right. And then, yes, the West Coast Bias with me, The Duel, and O'Malley talking sports every other week right here on the 4H Presents Radio Network. We go on live at 6 p.m. And yeah, that's so you guys be sure to tune in to the 4H Presents Radio Network. And be sure to keep watching the YouTube show that you're probably watching right now if you're seeing this video. So hi. Get back to it with either Double K's Classroom or the Cheap Pop Podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Peace. And I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that there promo break. Y'all enjoyed hearing about 4 Aces on YouTube. And you know what? I am here and ready to bring it to you on this second half of Double K's Classroom. So we're going to open up and we're going to start talking about the San Francisco 49ers, who officially sit at 7-6 now after their victory, last minute overtime victory over the Cincinnati Bengals this past Sunday. They got the Atlanta Falcons coming into town, 4-7. So there's some good chance there, or not like 4-7, but like they're 6-7. So they're a beatable team. You know, the key thing to get into the playoffs now is as the weeks go on is beat the beatable teams and try to beat the teams that are supposed to beat you. And try to upset the teams that are supposed to beat you. That's the key to it all. I think this is a winnable game. They have all the right pieces in all the right places. Debo's going to play. Elijah Mitchell might be on track to play. If not, they got Jeff Wilson Jr., they got Debo Samuel. I believe they got Hasty too. They got George Kittle. Jimmy G's healthy. Offensive line has Trent Williams, Alex Mack, two of the most important pieces. McGlinchey, I believe, is done for the season, so they're missing their right tackle, but they got Banks is doing some good over there. This is a winnable game. I'm not saying the Falcons aren't going to be tough. Every team is tough, but this is a winnable game. They managed to Sunday's win over the Bengals shouldn't have been an overtime victory. Should have been in two ways. It should have been a regulation time victory. First and foremost, they were up 20-6 going into the fourth quarter and couldn't build off of that to continue to keep the lead until all the time ticked off the clock. But here was the worst part. They gave up the second touchdown. The Bengals tied it. The Niners offense did everything they were supposed to do and got down to, I believe, like the 27. And Mr. Automatic from inside 50, Robbie Gould, misses it wide right. What the holy fudge is that all about? Now, don't get me wrong. The game played out the way I hoped it would, and that the Bengals came down, were only able to get a field goal in overtime, and their defense wasn't able to stop the Niners. They drove right down the field, and Jimmy Garoppolo hit Ayuk for about a 16-yard game winner or 11-yard game winner. And what was a beautiful play. But I just don't get how it ever got to 2020. Maybe the defense was just gassed. I don't know what. Maybe it took the Bengals that long to figure the defense out. I don't know. But I know, but to me, it was a tale of two halves. The first or tale of 3 quarters and then 1 quarter. The first 3 quarters, they dominated the Bengals in just about every possible way, including 2 Bengals mistakes that resulted in Niners touchdowns, two fumbles on punts. That resulted in Niners touchdowns. They dominated them and then in the fourth quarter they just poo-pooed the bed. So, but let's hope they don't do that this week. Like I said, Atlanta's a beatable team. Hopefully they put in the work and beat them soundly, and move into next week's matchup against the Titans, which is going to be a big one. It's going to really prove their worth. With an edge, 8-7, 8-6 guarantees that they have a better shot of maybe finishing 8-7 or 9-8, or 8-7, or finishing 10-7 or 9-8. But we'll see how it all plays out. So that's enough about the Niners. Now we're going to talk about this little disease called COVID and how it is running rampant in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers has been on the COVID list. Baker Mayfield is currently on the COVID list. The Cleveland Browns are preparing to start unless they get Mayfield or his backup back before the game has been moved to Monday or Tuesday now. The Raiders, whatchamacallit game. And it was lining up for Nick Mullins to be the starter. But don't get it twisted. The last time Nick Mullins took on the Raiders on a football field, he torched them. He played pretty damn good. But let's see. Let's take a look at specifically what games got moved to win. All right, so the Raiders-Browns got moved to Monday night on the 20th. And Seahawks-Rams also were dealing with a lot of COVID cases. Got moved to Tuesday. And so did the Washington football team and the Eagles game. So that's something, new times call for new measures. But right now, at this point, COVID is kicking the NFL's ass. Protocols are not. And the thing about it is this: everybody goes, "Oh, all the players they had to have at least 85." I think it was 85% of their 75% of the players had to be vaccinated for the team to be a full go. So most teams, most of the players are vaccinated, if not all of the players are vaccinated. Because I believe like the Niners, I believe all of their players are vaccinated because in California, in order to play in California, you got to be vaccinated. So thank you, Governor Newsom, whether y'all like him or not. But yeah, so like I like I said, the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It makes you less likely to spread it if you do. But man, I tell you, COVID 72, NFL like 15 right now. When you're having to postpone games because all these people got infected and have to go into the health and safety protocols, then that's when the disease is kicking your ass. But at the end of the day, y'all, I say go get the stick. I just got my booster shot the other day. I say go get the stick only because of the fact that we're never going to get rid of COVID until we get a high enough number of people vaccinated. That's just how herd immunity works. We get vaccinated, so there's enough of us vaccinated to protect those who can't get vaccinated. That's how that works, folks. Go back to basic science class and somebody will tell you that's how it works. But we got enough people out there that are paranoid and don't want to get stuck for a bunch of stupid reasons. And then we have some that can't get vaccinated. Those, it's not their fault. But there are some out there who are choosing not to simply because of some stupid reason that they've gotten in their head. Like I said, go get the stick, people. NFL players, go get the stick. Y'all got to be touching each other. Why risk your fellow brother's life? I don't know. Sorry. Tired. I don't know. All right. Last one is a fantasy update by me. I'll go over it real quick. In one of my money leagues, the Winged Eagle league, I finished 6-8, but I finished in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes put up a good first day yesterday with 33 points for me, so I'm up by 17 right now. The guy had Keenan Allen going, and he got 16, so I'm up 17 now, but I need a bunch of other people to hit for big money. What else? In my other money league in ESPN, I was right there in the playoffs at 7-6, and now I lost my final game, and because I didn't score enough points in that game, I ended up falling completely out of the playoffs and ended up in 9th place. Go figure. But that matchup for 9th place, I'm up over my opponent so far 31-0 because Travis Kelce had a 11 catch, 190 yard and 2 touchdown game. So I ended up with 31 points out of that. So I should win that matchup. But let me see. My alternate league, I finished like 4-10, so I didn't even make the playoffs. My alternate ESPN league, and then my 2 NFL leagues. One of them I obviously had to make the playoffs because there was only 4 teams in the league. That's the 510 league. And then the other league, I believe I ended up coming in at like the number 6 spot, and I'm facing off against the 3 seed. 8 out of 10 made the playoffs in that one. So, man, who knew? Who knew? Who knew? I finished 7-7 in the league where I made the playoffs, and then I finished like 6-8 in the other league where everybody made the playoffs. So, not a good year for me. I finished either at 500. I don't think I finished above 500 in a single league. I finished either below 500 and made the playoffs, or I finished like at 500 and made the playoffs. So But making the playoffs basically in 4 out of 5. No. Two. I didn't get in either of my ESPN leagues. So sorry, 3 out of 5. Make the playoffs in 3 out of 5 ain't bad. And my $100 league is the one I made the playoffs in. So I got a shot. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for me for this week. I'll be back in 2 weeks to talk some more hot topics. Try to catch us this Sunday for West Coast Bias. And Cheap Pop Podcast will be up this Sunday at 5 as well. And we'll see y'all then. Peace.